Hi everybody, it's Stephen here for Bland Designs, and I'm going to start the process of cleaning up my craft room. This is going to take several weeks, if not longer, so I'm going to film this in various stages and then I'll edit the whole movie together so you can see the transformation. At least I hope you'll see a transformation. So here's what my craft room looks like right now. Let me just switch camera positions here. So this gives you an overview of what my whole craft room sort of looks like. As you can see, every inch is covered in supplies. So I want to clean up these cupboard fronts. I want to get rid of those embellishments. In fact, I'm starting this already. Before I started making this part of the video, I started cleaning up these shelves here. You see what those blue baskets are? Well, that used to be binders full of stuff. I've cleaned those all out the other day. Went to the dollar store, got these little blue bins. I'm going to go back today to get some more. And this is where I'm going to keep a lot of my embellishments that are hanging up over here on the doors right now. My theory about hanging them on the doors was if they were out in sight, I'd use them. That theory didn't work. And at first it looked kind of pretty. Now it just looks cluttered. So we got to clean that all up. I have all kinds of drawers and things down here full of stuff that I know. A lot of it is garbage. Other things I haven't used in years. Time to get rid of them. Ink pads. Here's some more magazines, more books. Got to weed through all of that because that's actually a little alcove in there, but I can't even get in there because I've got two Rustcots sitting here in front of it. And anytime I want to get back in there to anything, and I'm not even sure what's back in there, I have to pull these out to get in. So I've got this work table over here, which ends up being a place where I start just throwing stuff. Used to have my sewing machine on it, moved it over to the other side. Got to clean up underneath that. This is a drafting table, believe it or not, that I've got flat. Again, just a ton of stuff to clean up. And of course, this is my workbench. And what I really want to do here is declutter it so I have a wider workspace. And I want to clean off the surface here and get a big sheet of glass to go on top of it, because I'm warping the pad that's underneath here. It's a self-healing mat. I've had a couple of them on here, and when I hit them with the heat gun, they warp, and I can never get them warped back in. So I need a piece of glass. I have storage underneath here. I have stuff on the ends, another wide view. So yeah. So over the next few weeks, possibly months, I'm going to try and clean this up piece by piece. Get rid of a lot of stuff and start making this look a little bit more organized, a little bit more elegant. And I'm starting right here with this bookcase. So as I said, I've started on that very top shelf and the one below it. I'm going to work on that today, and I'm going to move my way down. So this is my first goal, is to get this whole shelving unit a little better organized so it looks a little nicer. So as I said, over time I will put this all together, and it'll probably be a very long video, but I hope you'll see a transformation. Okay, so here's what I did today. I got all these little little blue baskets from the dollar store, and I got these, I think they're meant for putting in your cupboard for canned goods, so I could get a couple of baskets in one space. And I reorganized my papers, and they're on that shelf, and these are all my stamps and dies and my washi tape. Now below that, it's kind of hard to get it in here, move around this way. These are all my albums. They were here before, but I had them stacked on top of each other, so I made some shelf space and got them onto this shelf here. So this section's all done, and I labeled each of the baskets with what's in them. I weeded out quite a bit of stuff. I could probably go through all of these again though, and I could probably weed out even more. But for now, I'm just going to leave it as it is. And I suppose I could reorganize the paper so it's sort of in a rainbow selection, but do I need to? As long as it's here and I can see it, that's all that counts. And of course, these are all the Tim Holtz binders, and I had them before, and they're all labeled. I actually could use a couple more because some of these are very overstuffed. And then I have these heartfelt creation boxes, which I keep both the dies and the stamps are heartfelt in here. And I'm also keeping some other dies as well. And here's the washi tape holder, which I got at Michael's. I had in another spot. So I was able to eliminate a few things over here. This unit is now empty, and this unit, 2 out of the 3 drawers are empty. So what I'm hoping to do is maybe to get rid of some of these units. I've got another one over here, and open up this space a little bit more. I want to move all these bottles of mixed media stuff somewhere else, but I'm not sure where yet. I'm thinking that if I ever get this spot cleaned out in here, that maybe I can start utilizing the shelves for that. Like up on that top shelf, all books, they can go. On this shelf, magazines, they can go, and old cards and things like that. I don't know if I'd get rid of these. Some of these I might weed through, but a lot of them are the magazine / softcover book on different techniques. However, I really haven't looked in any of them for years. So I don't know. I might just bite the bullet and get rid of those. These are all my cling stamps. They are organized in these boxes, but I have a lot in here that I never ever use and probably never will. So I should probably go through those and weed those out as well. And then there's a whole pile of junk way down in behind here that I know I can get rid of. So this space in here is going to give me more storage. And ultimately, my design is to have 3 basic work areas. A work area here that I can get at, a work area over here that I can get at, and of course my main work area, sorry, make you dizzy, over here. Now I did get rid of a few things that were under here. Well, that was where I was keeping the paper that's up on the shelf now. And I think I can get rid of some more stuff under there as well. So I'm not sure if I'm really happy with the look of this. Things are more organized. I can find them, I think. I don't know, I have a different image in my head. I don't know. What do you think? Okay, so today I got a few things accomplished. If you look right up here on top of the cupboards, I think I showed you this before, that I'm posting my artwork now on the cupboard doors, as opposed to all of those embellishments that were hanging out there. They're now all secluded in their baskets, which you've seen earlier. But at the very top, you can see all my little houses that are the Tim Holtz houses that I made. And they used to sit on top of a bookcase I'm going to show you in a minute. But I had a lot of other crap up there on the top. I cleaned it all away, threw it all out. It was just crap. I saved a few pieces that are there for nostalgic reasons, and then all my little houses are sitting up there along the top. And that looks pretty neat, I think. I did have a little problem with the artwork. I'm using double-sided tape to hold those onto the door, and the last couple of mornings I've come down and 1 or 2 have fallen down. So I'm using a heavier duty double-sided tape that's a little wider, and I'm hoping that's going to keep those on the doors. I really don't want to screw nail them into the doors or that kind of thing, and because the doors will be opened, I don't want to hang them on hooks or whatnot, because they'll go, you know, crooked or uneven. So that's why I'm using the double-sided tape, and so far it's holding pretty well. So let's go over to the next. In this area before, it was a bookcase, and there were a lot of genealogy books and things like that when I used to do genealogy. And I've gotten rid of all of them. In fact, I packed them all up and I donated them to Variety Village. There are a few books, some art books that I've gotten on my travels, and some old scrapbook albums and picture albums that I, of course, didn't want to get rid of. And so I've put those on the bottom shelf, but I've put all of my distress inks and distress stains and my eyes inks and some of my Bo Bunny glitter paste, Tattered Angels glazes, that kind of stuff, and my distress sprays all into these baskets. And I use the dark colored baskets from the dollar store because I want them to blend into the bookcase, and because this is an area in the room, you see over here there are stairs that come down from the upstairs and lead into my rec room, and when people come down here I didn't want them to really see a mess. I've put my journals, my art journals, all up on the top shelf here. I'm not sure if they're going to stay there or not. I want them in a convenient spot, but this look is a little messy to me, so I don't know what I'm going to do about that yet. I may just leave it, I might move it. So I used to have a little table right down here. I've taken that out because I am going to use this area for one of my rolly carts, one of my Rust God carts, once I get things organized. And then this is the next thing that I did. Now this area is not finished yet. These are my paper pads and this is not organized yet or cleaned up. But what I did do is this is a CD holder. I bought it years ago, like when I first moved into this house. So 22 years ago I bought this at IKEA, and it used to be, and half of it still is, full of CDs. And I mean CDs as in ones that I recorded, I programmed. So there were computer programs in here and old MP3 files and things like that. I have not opened this up in years. So I opened it up today. I took all of those out, all those CDs, and I just tossed them because they're completely useless and outdated for anybody's computer system. And I bought the little square cans, you know, the ones that hold pens at the dollar store. And using E6000, I glued them to that backing. And now this is what'll happen. Now these are still wet, so I don't want to move it too much. But you see, I can close that right up like that, and I've got more of them down here. And then when I want to see what I've got for pens, I just simply, I'm just pushing this in because that's still wet, the glue. And there they all are. Now, I need to buy some more of those cans because I've still got 3 more drawers down here. This is what the drawers look like with CDs in them. So it's a little dark, sorry, but that's what it looks like with the CDs in it. And now it's my pen and marker holder, which I think is pretty cool. And as long as that glue holds, it'll remain cool. So we'll see, cross my fingers on that. So that's what I've accomplished so far. And well, you'll see more later on. Okay, so today I continued working on the Craftroom, and it probably still, from this angle, doesn't look much better. There's still a lot to go, but one thing I did was this rack that was on the end before is now holding all my Project Life stuff, which was in my Rustgocks before, which were blocking an area at the back that I'll show you in a minute. And over here, I got weeded down my paper pads and put them all up here, and added some more pens and markers to my little storage unit. It used to be a CD holder, which I showed you before. And if we move over to this area, again, lots to do over here. I managed to clean up under here a little bit. The vacuum's just there temporarily for now. And I went through all of my cardstock and got rid of some pattern paper and that I don't need. In fact, I got quite a lot of paper weeded out, and it's all going to the public school in my area, to them. They seem to really appreciate all the stuff I brought them the other day, so I hope they like all the paper as well. Now in this area, which is the one I'm tackling now, and I've only got part of it done, I've cleaned up under here, cleaned out those drawers. I found stuff that I forgot that I had. And I want to get more shelf space here. So I know all those books up on that top shelf are going. All the stuff on this shelf is going. I'm going to weed these down. Some of these are scrapbooking magazines and things like that. And I think I'll only keep the ones that are good reference for the future. The rest are going. And then these are all cling stamps in these boxes. And I think I'm going to go through those. And really, I've got a lot of really little bitty ones that I've never used, never will use. So I think I'll just organize those. And I'm going to ask when I go over the next day to deliver the paper to the school whether or not they'd be interested in rubber stamps as well, and maybe give those to them too. I got rid of my Chameleon pens and my Spectrum Noir pencil crayons because I only use the Prisma. And a good friend of mine, she said she would take those off my hands, and so I'm glad they're going to a good home, because really that's about $250 worth of marking material. So I'm glad it's going to go to someone who will appreciate it. And well, I will carry on and I'll keep you advised. So here's what I've got accomplished today. It won't probably look like much to you, but it is quite a bit, and my mountain of garbage bags is getting pretty full. So over here in this area, I've done some clean out. I used to keep all my pads, my ink pads, in this little messenger box kind of thing that I picked up at a at a flea market. And I used to have my, what do you call them, Spectrum Noir pens up here and some other miscellaneous stuff and down here. Well, I've moved all of that out, and my goal here is to eventually clean up. There's all kinds of stuff in behind this drawer set, so I want to clean that all up. And I'd really, ideally, like to relocate this long thing that's here after I clean it out, to give me more of a sense of space here. I've got to clean up this wall as well, but in here I've cleaned this all up. This is now my library. I got rid of all kinds of magazines and old books that I haven't looked at in years, and they went to Value Village. And now this is now my mixed media area, as you can see. I've got everything in baskets down in here. And I don't know if my paint is going to stay down here. Again, I don't want to close off that area, but actually it seems to fit there pretty good. I've cleaned up under here, and I'm debating whether I'm going to put some kind of cover over the front of that or just leave it open. So now over here, this is my basically my inking station. All my inks are here. You can see all my Tim Holtz ink applicators. My Spectrum Noir pens are here. I've got all of my ink pads in these little baskets on the small shelf, and of course I didn't move these because this old cassette tape box works really well, and I've been using it for quite a while to hold all of my distress inks. If he comes out with new colors, I'm kind of screwed. I don't have any more spots for those. I went through all of these drawers. I've relabeled them. I cleaned out a lot of stuff in those, and the same with these. And now ink pads, inking supply tools, all of that are here in one spot. This basket that's in this corner here, and that other box, this is my basket of things I have new that I haven't tried yet. I will be getting rid of that out of here too shortly. Now this is awkward to video, but down under here, this is my Vagabond, and that's where it always sits. But I cleaned out a few things here and just reorganized. So again, my deli papers, my jelly plates, and some miscellaneous mixed media stuff are right here under this. I used to have my Tim Holtz dies in Tim Holtz boxes all under there, but they've gone down under here in this section. Now, I worked on this today. This is my workbench, and you can see it's not quite as cluttered as it was before. I've weeded down a lot of the stuff that I like to have at my fingertips, but you want to know something? I think I still have too much stuff here, so I think I got to do another weeding. I mean, really, I don't think I need that many things sitting out here on my desktop, and I really don't want the cluttered look. I want a fairly clean surface. I was going to move my brother's Scan and Cut over to this area, which is where I did have all of my pens and things like that. But now I've cleaned that off, and I can put my paper cutter here and my smaller paper cutter, which is a little bit more convenient to my workspace as well. So it's coming. I reorganized this underneath part here. So I've got my canvases all down here. I've got all my adhesives are here too. And then I've got some more mixed media stuff, my Tim Holtz Distress markers and crayons, and well, my pencil crayons and things like that, gel pens, they're all down in here as well. So underneath this part, that's what's being held here. Now there's another side to this on the far side, and it's got paper and things, and I haven't done anything with that yet. My ultimate goal is to clean up this workbench a little bit more. I'm going to take that those non-stick craft mats off and the cutting mat underneath that off as well, which is be a bit of a chore because I have it kind of nailed down to the top of this wooden bench. Kind of nailed it there when I kept bubbling it up or warping it with my heat gun. What I want to do is strip that all down, possibly paint it on the top, and then I want to get a glass sheet, a thick glass sheet cut big enough to cover this whole top, and then I don't need the craft sheet nor the cutting mat. If I need to cut something on a cutting mat, which is rare, I have smaller cutting mats available for that kind of thing. That's my ultimate goal right here, to do that. So things are coming along. I've started to clean out some of these cupboards up here. I still have to do the front of those like I did with these. I want to put more art up. And Well, things are going along nicely, but at this point, I've been doing this now for about a week and a half. Today I work pretty much most of the day on things, but as time goes by, I usually do a few hours every day or maybe a little bit more, but I haven't done anything arty or crafty in the last week and a half since I started this project because I've had things all laying around and I don't want things sitting out like works in progress while I'm doing all this. So anyways, that's where I've gotten to so far. So in the next video, we'll see how much further I've gotten from this one. Okay, so today was a very productive day. We managed to clean up this corner in here. So now all the junk that used to be on that bulletin board is now my artwork there. And the whole corner has been cleaned out and now I've got a whole brand new work surface. The racks I had with the ink pads on them are all gone. And down below, I've given myself more foot room and I've reorganized those bins. And over here, I have my art journal books. And down here, my punches and miscellaneous other items and glue and things like that. And I'm still working on this little cabinet here. I took my stencils out and reorganized all of those. And I've got a few more drawers in here that I have to clean out and see how much more space I can get. And so things are coming along nicely with it all. Okay, so today I carried on with this corner. I had that pretty much done, except I didn't have this cleaned out, and I do now. And now I've opened up this whole corner here. Before, I really couldn't get at this corner and use it as a actual workspace, but now I've rearranged some things. I've thrown out a lot of garbage and junk, and I've got it all organized now, so I now have a third work area. I've also put some of my artwork up on my bulletin board. Before, that was a mishmash of all kinds of old projects that I had done, things I'd cut, and that kind of thing, and it just looked a mess. So I've put some of that up, and I've put a few pieces in around here as well. I also cleaned up the bulletin board I have on the other side in work area number 2, which you've already seen. But this I cleaned up as well. So what else have I been doing? Well, I finally cleaned up everything under here and got it all organized. So my most immediate products that I need are right at my fingertips. And if they're not on this side, then they're down here in these drawers, which I've labeled. And I think I've got one drawer here. Nope, didn't label that one yet. I got some paper for the printer in there. But all of these, all the stuff I took out of these, you wouldn't believe. I'd forgotten I had half that stuff, and it was just a mishmash of things you might use for craft stuff, a lot of it from the dollar store. And I figured, toss it. If I need it again, I'll go and I'll buy it again at the dollar store. But I mean, I had all kinds of popsicle sticks and stuff like that. I cleaned up these bulletin boards that are here as well and got rid of an old relic. I had a lot of stuff sitting on these ledges. And believe me, the dust was bad. Now it's very easy to dust and clean up everything. I rearranged the drawers down below here with my office supplies in these drawers, and everything's labeled so I know where everything is for that. Did a little bit of rearranging over in this corner. Don't mind my coffee cup. And here again, I used to have a whole lot of my art projects, which are now hanging on the doors and on the wall, all along this ledge. Well, that's all cleaned up. My retirement poster that was laminated when I retired 5 years ago from teaching, and everybody signed it. I've mounted that now on the wall. It only took 5 years to get that up on the wall. And then in this corner, I had a tri lamp fixture, whatever, one of those, you know, lamp trees in the back here. I put it back there a long time ago thinking, oh, it'll give me more light in this area. I never turned it on, so it's gone. I cleaned out the cobwebs, and I had this TV stand that holds my music computer on a corner in here. But I wanted to see if I could get at least one of my carts in this space, so I moved this flush against the wall. And I'm kind of a guy who likes angles, because after all, my television setup here is on an angle as well. But for the sake of having more storage space, and this is what I call my project cart. So things on here are projects that I'm working on. You see the shoe, there it is, sitting. You're not going to see anything in this for a while on that. And so I'm utilizing this space, I think, a little better. This is my sewing area. I have my serger and my sewing machine. Don't get too excited. I'm really not sure how to use the serger. I inherited it from my sister-in-law when she passed away, kind of a thing. So I'll have to get it. I'll have to try it now. It's been sitting in a back corner in the workshop for quite a while, so I thought I'd bring it out. And I've cleaned up this area, so I have a sewing area, and all my sewing supplies are now in these drawers here. I actually have some empty bins. Wow. That's good. I did not sort these out yet. I'm hesitant to, because I have a lot of electronic stuff in this one and in this filing cabinet, and it's like 1,000 wires and things all bagged up, and I don't know if I'm going to clean those up or not. I know what's in there, and I may just leave it. I may go through this. This is mostly Christmas stuff and some album making stuff, but I'm sure there's some stuff in there that I can actually throw out, and that would give me some more space. So that's the next project, to get on with that. Up here though, up on top of the shelves, I've cleaned everything off the top of the shelves, with the exception of these old VCRs. Now, I do have a VCR machine that allow me to take these old VCR tapes and put them onto DVDs. And I had started that a few years ago, and these are the ones I haven't finished yet. I don't know if I'll ever get them done. So I just left them up there. They're out of the way. So maybe someday I'll get onto that project. But you can see now, I did have some Disney characters. I thought that was a little juvenile up here on the cupboard doors. I've removed those. I left my Italian masks. Those came from Venice. And I left those on the doors, but I put up some of my other artwork up here as well. And these two center doors, as I do maybe some more smaller pieces of poured acrylic, I may put those up on there as well. And I rearranged a few things that were on the walls down here and around. And now over here, I had a whole lot of stuff sitting up here, cluttering this up, dust catchers. So I cleaned those all off. I've cleaned up under here, and I've left my scrapbook stand because I kind of like that. And I have several pages on there. I can switch them over, but knowing me, I probably won't. It'll probably be this one all the time that's up there. This cupboard, I don't really have to do much with, because I reorganized it some time ago. And it has actually all my mixed media materials, collage materials, text materials, stuff like that, all labeled in boxes. And there's a few extra boxes here that have kits and some other scrapbooking stuff in them, but they're all labeled. My cards are in here. And yeah, I think that one's okay. Up here, I did have some old family pictures of my grandparents when they were teenagers. And sorry, Grandpa and Grandma, but I took you down, put you in the crawl space, and I put up my poured acrylic art up here. Cleaned off the top of this. I did have the books all here, and I said I wasn't sure if I really wanted all those journals sitting there. So now they're over on the far side. So things are a lot less cluttered. I think it's a little bit more open. Yes, there is still a lot of stuff here, and believe me, I have taken out of this room about 20 or more garbage bags full of crap. I've still got a little bit more to do. I want to replace the top of this island with a sheet of glass, take those non-stick sheets off and that cutting mat and the whole bit and the paper off. So I'll check out to see what condition the wood top is on that, and I may just clean up the wood top and put the glass right down on top of it, about a 1/4 inch thick. I have no idea what that's going to cost me, but I'm going to have it cut, and then I can use that glass to mix paints on, to do heat embossing. I've gone through more of those self-healing mats because I melt them with my embossing gun. Stupid me. I do have a sheet of glass I get out when I think about it, but half the time I use the gun and then they warp. You can see it warped right there on the one edge. And down here, this ugly, ugly, dirty mat, I'm going to replace that with one of those plastic, with office chair things. Kind of what I've got under my office chair here. I'm going to put one of those down there. It'll be easier for cleaning up, and it's not going to look so icky all the time. So I'm almost done. I've been working on this for now about 2 weeks. I haven't done any artwork. I've dedicated myself to this room, and I'm really proud of what I've got happening here. I'm debating whether or not I should take these things down. I have these little mobile things, kind of stuff that I made hanging from the ceiling. I don't know. I kind of like them, so I might leave those up. But yeah, just a few more minor things to do, and well, I'll make another short little video when I get the other things done. Okay, today I'm waiting for my glass to come that's going to go on top of this bench. This is the centerpiece of my room. This is my main workbench, and it's all ready to go. When the glass comes today, I've already put these little things right here, as you can see, and they're all over and on the edges of the table to support the glass. And these mats will go. And I have a little wooden box now for my essential tools, which I pared down considerably. And I'm really excited about having this glass on here because then you'll be able to see the full beauty of the wood top. And they called me yesterday and got me all excited because they said it was ready to pick up. And I said, no, you're supposed to deliver it. I paid extra for that. The reason I paid for it to be delivered is because it's quite a big sheet of glass. It's 46.5 by 30.5 inches, and it's 1/4 inch. And I had them finish the edges on it and round the corners as well. And I kind of figured that they would be able to bring it in and drop it right down onto my tabletop. Bang, it's done. I didn't want to try shipping it myself. So I'm waiting for them to call me. They guaranteed me that today would be the day that I would get it. So we'll see. Okay, so just before I do the big reveal of the whole craft room, now that it's completely done, I thought I'd just show you some still pictures of what everything looked like before I started this process. And here's the workbench with the new glass top. Sorry about the glare, but as you can see the wood grain underneath here. And I'm trying to get it all into the shot for you, but there's what it looks like. It'll be easier to clean. I'll be able to use my heat guns on it and not worry about anything warping. So with that, my craft room is now complete. Just a little sideline here. I dealt with a local company to support local industry. I had paid to have this delivered. It was supposed to come on Thursday. They phoned me on Thursday. They weren't going to make it. Actually, they forgot they were going to deliver it. They said it was ready for pickup. Told me for sure they would deliver it on Friday. 3 o'clock Friday afternoon came around, 3:30 came around, no call from them. They didn't show up. So I called them again, second time in the day, and asked if they were going to get around to delivering it today. They said that their workmen had been held up at another job. No, it wouldn't come today, maybe next week sometime. I said, fine, I'll be over to pick it up. And I want my money back that I paid for delivery, which was $25. Went over, picked it up. She gives me $25. I said, and there's HST on the $25, bitch. And she handed me the HST on that as well. Tried to pull a fast one. So, you know, they're not the only game around, but they're convenient, they're close. They know what they're doing when it comes to cutting glass. They're just not so good with the customer service. There have been bad reviews about them before. They're called Vern Glass. They're in Oshawa. So if you're in the area and you're thinking of dealing with them, just keep in mind that they are not very reliable. When they say they're going to do things, they don't. So I probably should have just gone and picked it up anyways, but I thought, well, it was easier because, of course, she said once you take it outside the door, there's no guarantee on it. In other words, you drop it, you broke it. I thought, well, I'd have them deliver it and put it on the table. Well, just as well, they didn't because it was covered in dirt anyway. So before they would have been able to put it on the table, I would have had to wipe it one side down. So anyways, it's here and it's done. And now I can show you the whole room very quickly. Let's start at this end. All cleaned up there. Some of my artwork on the doors as well. My sewing area. My music computer area and TV, those were always there, but in a different at a different angle. Over here, this is not changed much here. There wasn't much here to clean up. Reorganize some of the pictures on the wall. Come over here, I cleaned up this area and got rid of the old pictures of my grandparents when they're teenagers, put up some of my artwork. This used to have books in it. It now has all of my inks. And then we come around to the rack. As you know, I weeded out my papers, Gave them away to an elementary school. These are the pads I have left. I'm sure I could do another weeding of those and probably will someday. My real triumph is this old CD wall-mounted case is now my pen holder and markers all in here. It's amazing what you can do with dollar store pen cups and some E6000 glue, and everything hides away very neatly in there. Of course, then I'm just going to back up here. The bookshelves. Books are gone. My albums are all here. My rubber stamps, Tim Holtz, Delusions, all in those cases. 8.5 by 11 cardstock, all laid out. All these baskets are all marked. They have my embellishments. Again, I weeded out a lot of those, and now I know what's in each basket. Just grab a basket when I need those types of embellishments. Down here, I now have my Project Life, which was on a rust cot before, all neatly stored there. I now have a cutting station, which frees up one of my other workstations in here. This is what all those pens and everything were on before. Now those are gone. You've seen the workbench. I cleaned off a lot of the bric-a-brac that I had on here before and just have my most essential tools sitting here. And I got a wooden box to go with the wooden top of the table. I know it's not the same color, but then two trees and a wood don't match, do they? Over here, more paper organized. This bulletin board was a mess of stuff. Now I have it more attractively laid out, I think. Weeded out all my cardstock. It's all in here. This is workstation number 2. Has all my inks now in one spot. And you can see here I have my distress inks. Now I had this before, but I always left it kind of open. But now I think I will close it. But this is an old cassette case, which I've converted over. It holds my distress inks very nicely. And just so I know what's in it, distress inks. All of this is inking supplies. Then, of course, this big cleanup here. The magazines and books I did keep are all up on those shelves. And then all my mixed media materials are down here. And I can get into this space now because I don't have two rust cots holding up the area. Cleaned up that bend. Here's work area number 3. Got rid of the rack that had all the inks in it before. Cleaned it all up, organized. Again, my other bulletin board features artwork now on there. This area has my journals, my rubber stamps, glue, things like that. And of course the cupboard above, where I used to hang all my embellishments on this, now is artwork once again. And I cleaned up the upper part and put all my Tim Holtz houses up on the top up there. And I cleaned up all these drawers down here. There used to be a lot of scrap paper. I got rid of all of that. I got rid of a lot of miscellaneous items out of these drawers. Everything is labeled. I know where things are. And the computer area, more cleaned up, more organized. And my Cricut area. And of course this shelf that was along here had all kinds of the artworks that are now on the cupboard doors laid out on here. And now they're no longer catching dust under them there. And I've got one of my carts here, which has ongoing projects in it. Fits neatly in that corner. And we're back to the beginning. So that was about 2.5 weeks of work. And I'm really happy with the end result. Yeah, it's not designer, but it'll serve the purpose. It gives me lots of space to work in. Things are more organized and neater. And I'm sure if I spent some time cleaning out more of this stuff, I could probably take out another 20 bags of stuff in here as well. But for now, this will do. So when it comes to decluttering, you have to be ruthless. You have to get at it. You can't put it off. And now, can I keep it like this? Well, I'm going to try. Thanks for watching.